Hey everyone, what's going on? It's your boy Krebsy Crypto, and I am back with another tutorial slash overview here, and this is going to be for mining Ravencoin in 2025. Just to give you guys a refresher and show you guys how things are running for Ravencoin. Obviously it's not sitting there pumping or going crazy. It's kind of been stable around like 2 to 3 cents at least. I'm pretty sure that's Canadian price, so that's probably like what, 1 cent American. So it really hasn't been anything drastic going on with Ravencoin, but I just find it's kind of like a steady coin to mine. I know it's very power intensive, but if you have the right overclocks, underclocks, whatever you want to set, things do run a lot smoother. I only have 6 cards, obviously, just running right now. That's all I can run right now. But I have these 6, and in total, this only takes about 360 watts, I believe, and I'm pulling about 43 mega hash. So I receive, roughly about, I think it's about 25 Ravencoin a day. So nothing crazy, but still, it's pretty good for the power consumption. And another huge bonus that you have with Ravencoin is if you use the Hiveos pool, you're able to mine completely free. So your rigs don't get charged. It's a free daily charge on the rigs, and it's just you're mining to Hiveos's pool directly. So again, I'm just using my Nvidia rigs, my AMDs I'm not currently using. Obviously, it's just still a hot spell going on here. So lately, I just kind of been using this one just to kind of run, play around with, show you guys tutorials, things like that. So these are only 6 gigabyte cards. This is the P106100, I believe, and these are all the 106100 6 gigabyte. This one's the 1660 6 gigabyte. So overall, like I said, I get about 43 mega hash, and I'm only pulling about 360 watts. But yeah, I know Ravencoin or Kapow is probably more or less like a winter algorithm. If you live in an area like myself up in Canada here, that you have winter time, this is a good one because it does produce a lot of heat. It's pretty intense algorithm compared to like Dynex or some of the other ones that we've recently went over. So just keep that in mind. And like I said, of course, it's a free charge, so you're actually profiting a little more. But now I will go over to my computer here, and I will show you guys how to get this set up and going on Hiveos. I will show you the Nvidia setup because that's what I have running now, and I will show you the flight sheet that I have for AMD as well if you are wanting to set it up on AMD. Mind you, I'm not too familiar with the overclocks and things like that. I'm more of an Nvidia guy. Even though I have 1 or 2 AMD rigs, I do want to get rid of those and just focus on all Nvidia. I like the power consumption, the hash rate. Things are a lot nicer with Nvidia compared to AMD, just personal preference. But now we'll get over my PC and I will show you guys how to get this set up and going. So now we're over on Hiveos here, and as you can see, I got my farm and rig set up here. But now we're just going to take a look into it and just ignore the balance and the negative 71 cents. But as you see, it's 42 mega hash and about 370 watts. So it's not too bad for Ravencoin, of course, and as you see, the free daily price as well. So before we get started here, you're going to want to set up your wallet for Ravencoin. So you want to use something like Trust Wallet, something like the Raven Core wallet. I suggest don't use an exchange. So again, don't use an exchange wallet, use like a Core wallet or something. But in order to get to this page here, you want to click into your mining rig or your farm, and then all you want to do is click over to the Wallets tab on the top row there. You'll see it right up top. And then all you want to do is click Add Wallet, and then a pop-up will come up so you can fill in your wallet information for Ravencoin. So once you click Add Wallet, you type in the coin ticker, so it'll be RVN, so Raven. And then right below is where you're going to paste your wallet address. So you paste it right into there. And then below that, you can enter a name for the wallet. So whatever, like Core Wallet or something like that, or Raven Wallet, you can give it a name and it should appear after you save it. As you see, I have mine set up for like the Trust Wallet there. So once you're done that, you want to go back to your rig here, like or your farm or your rig, whichever one you're setting up here. And as you see, just to show you, it is like 360, 370 watts. And I'm getting about 44 mega hash, so nothing too crazy. And as you see, it's the P106100s, and then my GTX 1660, and they're all running about 60 watts of power, 70 watts for the 1660, so nothing too intensive. And as you see, there's my core and memory overclocks. If you want to take a look at them, you can pause the video and jot them down. But after that, you want to go over to your flight sheets, and as you see here, personally I use gminer for my Nvidia rigs here. So what you want to do first is go to coin and select the coin ticker. So it'll be Raven RVN. And then you want to select the wallet you just set up. So in this case, it's my trust wallet for Ravencoin. And then here you want to click Hive on, and it's right at the very top, so you shouldn't miss it. And it says free Hiveos, so that way your rigs are free, and that way you know. Of course, you can go with whatever pool you want, but I'm just suggesting to go with the Hive on pool. That way it keeps your rigs free, so you're taking home more profit at the end of the day. So once you have your pool selected, whether it be Hive on or whatever pool you choose, you want to select the mining software. Personally, I use gminer for my Nvidia rigs. I've never had an issue. I prefer gminer. It runs very smoothly, lets me use my overclocks and gets good hash rate. For my AMD rigs, I usually run nanominer, so you can go ahead and try that out. You can of course use gminer as well, it says, for AMD. And it should autofill everything for you in the config. You can pause it here to take a look, but it should autofill everything, so you shouldn't have to really worry about it, just because once you select a pool in the Hiveos software, it autofills it. And then you just give your flight sheet a name if you choose to, and then after that you should be ready to go with mining Raven on Nvidia. And then once you start mining, you can go to the Hivon pool. I believe it's hivon.net or something like that. The link will be in the description. And all you have to do is copy your wallet address, and it should bring you to like a dashboard style where you can see all of your information. So right on the home page, you'll be able to select Raven or Ethereum Classic. All you do is click Raven and then paste your address in and click Explore, and it should bring you to it. And of course, there's also a calculator if you want to check your profits and stuff before you get mining Ravencoin for your hash rate. But as you see, I kind of tested it out. I haven't been going for too long, but it does take some time for the shares to get rolling in on this pool, I find. Your hash rate will be different on the pool than what the Hiveos is showing for the first bit, like I said. Sometimes it takes upwards of like an hour before things get actually balanced and fully updated on there. It is a little bit slower in that sense. Like it says, oh, you have 26 mega hash, when in reality I have 43 mega hash, so it just takes time once it gets accepting shares. On average, like I said, I'm getting about 25 Ravencoin per day. Like I said, nothing too crazy, but 158 a week, roughly 180. So it just adds up over time. And instead of spending money and buying it, I can just go ahead and mine. And people will say, well, you're still spending money. Yes, but I'm also supporting the technology and the blockchain with it as well. And now I'll just quickly show you one of the flight sheets for AMD in case you want to set it up on an AMD rig, or if you just only have an AMD and just came across this video. I'm not going to show it running. I'll just show you how to set up the flight sheet. Like I said, it's the same way. You're going to select your Ravencoin for the coin, your wallet, and then Hive on for the pool. And then the only difference is you're going to select nanominer. I find it works better for AMD. Of course, you can try gminer and everything. It's all different for every motherboard, graphics card, this, that. So I just find nanominer runs the best and most smooth on mine. I just wanted to show you the flight sheet. I'm not going to show you like in depth for AMD, any overclocks, anything like that. I usually mine flux and stuff like that. Of course, you can just use the Hivon pool, and this rig will be free as well if you decide to run 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever amount of rigs you want to run. As long as you select Hivon, you're good to go, and you won't have to change any settings. I'm just showing you this just for AMD users, just as like an overview. That way you can go ahead and have a second rig running if you're maybe like me and have multiple rigs. So now I'm just going to show you the overclocks for my Nvidia rig. Of course, this is for the P106 100 and 1660. The one up on the screen right now is for the Nvidia P106 100. So you can go ahead and pause it and copy that down if you do use this card, or if you have something similar. And you might notice I run them on minimal power. So each power limit for the P106 100, the minimum is 60 watts. So I find an overclock with 60 watts. Of course, you can find something that's a little stronger for you. You can go all the way up to like 120, 130 watts. So it just depends on your power consumption and how much power you want to use. And the one up on the screen now is the GTX 1660, so probably a little more common of one. And I limit that one at 70 watts because that's the minimum amount of power for it. I just don't like running my cards at full maxed out. I like running them a little cooler and easier on the power. But yeah, that's all I pretty much got for you guys. Hopefully, you know, if you're new to mining, this tutorial helped you, or if you're stuck somewhere with mining Ravencoin, or if you just wanted to tune in because you enjoy the content and stuff like that. I appreciate it all, and hopefully this video brought some knowledge to you and brought some information to you.
But if you did enjoy, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as it lets me know this content is helping you guys out and you're enjoying it. But I hope you all have an amazing day, and this is Krebsy Crypto signing out.